Of course, as you are aware, FUFA has been doing strategic planning in the areas of governance, business, and sport. Under sport, this is where football development was always coming from, football on the pitch. This has helped us to deliver most of the achievement we are seeing. The national team going back to AFCON, the women national team qualifying, the various performance of national teams, and other visible progress on football on the pitch. Our clubs going back to inter-club competition, group stages. But now, for the first time, the administration of FUFA is saying, let us do a full dose football on the pitch. This has led to the birth of FUFA Technical Master Plan, a document which has been done in almost 10 months, started in January. It has gone through stages, but most importantly, stakeholders were engaged in July in Njeru. And again, when we did the launch at Imperial Royal, stakeholders were also called to see the progress and also know that we are on the step of goal. What is it in the Technical Master Plan? The Technical Master Plan looks about 4 pillars. It's about 4 pillars that FUFA has identified that if we do these 4 pillars deep, will increase the development or will do visible progress of development of football on the pitch. And the first pillar speaks about mass football. And mass football now we mean football for everyone. As you are aware, one of the hat-trick goals is to take football to each and every home state. So mass football means football intended for each and every person in the country and every corner of the country. And the objectives about mass football, one of them is to give individuals a chance to be part of football. These individuals are players, coaches, referees, administrators in mass football all over the nation, because you will have all this given opportunity, developed, and then able to be part of the game. Another area to take football to the populated areas of Uganda. We have identified some populated areas where we need to take mass football to prosper. And this, where there is, for us, we are very much aware that where there is a ball, there is a football field, and there are people, football can be played there. So we have identified mass populated areas and we want to take football in those areas. Again, mass football gives a chance the raw talent journey. Yes, whereas elite football creates a targeted talent journey or career path for a player, mass football gives a chance. By playing, wherever you're playing, probably our scouts are able to pick you from this competition, then you are channeled into development. And this is either a boy or a girl. Now, that will be mass football, giving a raw chance. Because sometimes you can play mass football and you end up playing at that level. But sometimes you can play mass football and you are identified, come in the right age, you developed, and then you are able to go to top levels, playing in the top leagues and probably the national team. The other objective is socio-economic development. We have seen people who gain some financials playing football, the youth. So we want to use mass football to ensure that there is socio-economic development of the masses, especially the youth, men and women. And now the health benefit. Of course, when you go on the pitch, play football, there is a lot of health benefit because this is a physical sport that is helping to improve you physically. And now, in detail, what are we looking at in mass football? Again, we break down into 5 areas that we're going to look at. We want to look at human resources in mass football. We want to train as so much coaches as possible, as so many referees as possible. Actually, the technical plan is targeting to train about 2,240 coaches, 2,240 referees, and then administrators the same. Putting these numbers to ensure that we add on existing numbers. That will propel mass football down and everyone get a chance to play football. To do mass competitions, we are also looking at doing mass competitions that are either youth competitions, schools competition, community competitions, like you see the FUFA drum. And the philosophy of FUFA in competition is two-way. we have competition that we call FUFA organized competitions. These are competitions that are done by FUFA and our members. Of course, like the 5 divisions of the league, 4th division, 5th division, and coming up to the 1st division, the UPL. But also we do a lot of competition with regions, with provinces. This competition will be enhanced, all given support and in terms of equipment, and then we ensure that football is played. Then the other side is FUFA authorized competition. And now here we want to even expound. FUFA authorized competition are those that are organized by entities that are not members of FUFA. So how are we going to do strategic partnership with these organizers to ensure that football is organized? Football is very big. The federation and our members maybe cannot do all over the nation. But by working with entities outside membership of FUFA into this category of FUFA authorized competition that you're going to govern, to put procedures, we shall make sure that football is widely played. The other pillar is facilities and equipment. FUFA is intending to give out 10,000 balls each year to areas where mass football is being played. So this is also an intervention under mass football that we want to do. We look at area of governance of mass football. And when you speak about governance, these are the processes, procedures. People must know to start a tournament. What do you do? If I want to start a tournament of arcades in a certain area, which procedures do I follow? Where am I going to ensure that my tournament is known by FUFA? Because sometimes you do your tournament, it's not known by FUFA, you get a problem, you want to verify player, it is FUFA that has a database of players, you will find problem. But now under this pillar, we want to ensure that we streamline how FUFA authorized competitions are being done, the governance. Now, beach soccer and futsal are other forms of football, 5-a-side, that you want to strengthen. You want to take beach soccer, you want to take futsal, the 8 regions of the nation, to ensure that these games are played. These games also give valuable opportunity for younger players to establish themselves. Being small-sided games, played in small spaces, there are a lot of benefits. For instance, futsal, it teaches a lot of technical skills to players. Beach soccer gives a lot of strength to players because it's played in sand. There is natural resistance. So by doing these games, also the level of national teams, we are accelerating our development of mass football. After doing mass football, the second pillar is elite football. Elite football means this is an intended kind of journey for a performer or a participant in the game of football. And this can be a player, a coach, a referee, or an administrator, everyone in the game, a support, one who gives support to player development. And elite football will be intended to ensure that players are given a proper path. And under this, FUFA has come up with an illustration of a player development path, where you see that we say talent is like fish in the lake. Fish, and you can't find fish on top, or you just can't find fish everywhere. You have to go in the lake, sometimes deploy a net and get the fish out there. Or sometimes you put divers. Now we shall have divers who go in the ocean, in the lake. That is mass football or wherever football is played, to get raw talent and potential talent. And these are scouts. The scouts are going to train a robust scouting system, will pick out talent. Of course, when you get scouts all over the nation, it will be a big number of players. They go through what we call a road. The road will be very big in our illustration. They go to what we call the big tank. Now the big tank, this is where we start to see development is added here. These are the private academies that are going to be licensed, given a curriculum of player development. Also, FUFA intend to do schools of excellence in each and every region where scouted players will be put. Now they are trained. FUFA works with these schools, offer equipment, training of coaches, and now this talent, maybe the schools are giving us bursaries or education for players. Now after here, it will narrow, because you know you will not take the same number, because the receiving development there. Some will not go. Some will go back to amateur to mass football. Now others will progress to now pro environment. And here we have FUFA want to set up a national academy where we're going to do elite development of players. Now you are being added on your development, on your coaching, daily coaching, and there's a proper curriculum which talks about how your coach technically, tactfully, then mental development, then physical development, but also FUFA is putting social development, financial, all these elements that help the player, a pro player, to adapt to environment. Now from here also, we in this category also have pro clubs. That's why we want our clubs in top division to establish themselves to the extent that when we send their talented player, he or she can only be added on her or his journey of development instead of being brought down. Now from there, we go into the street which takes them, or now the pipe will take them to either the youth national team. For those who are early developers, can even go to the senior national team. So this talent journey, but also not forgetting scouting our players from the diaspora, players of Ugandan descent, players who have left Uganda to go there and play out there will also be brought into youth national teams and the senior national team. That illustration has been explained, and we shall keep explaining it to stakeholders. It will guide elite football development. What are some of the things we're going to do? Of course, talent identification. We are going to put a robust talent identification system, training scouts, deploying them, putting regulation, licensing them, and giving them guidelines and tools to use. Talent development, I've just talked about this, through a FUFA academy or the pro clubs, schools of excellence. After identifying, it's not a matter of having a list of players, but putting development or putting them in an environment where they can be trained using a proper curriculum that you're going to develop. Things like elite coaching development. FUFA is coming up with a new philosophy of coach education. A philosophy that's going to supplement the existing CAF coaching convention, where you see coaches are merely getting CAF C, CAF B, CAF A. We have identified and seen some gaps that we need to close through additional education to coaches. We are introducing a 7-level coaching badge that will benefit coaches. Of course, putting specific requirements in each and every level. But again, worth mentioning, we shall have a level 7, where you don't need any, for instance, academic requirement. It's taught in a language that you understand. This will increase so many coaches for mass game. But again, as we move in the elite game, we'll need further stringent requirements. Of course, developing physical coaches, scouts, statisticians, specialized coaches in areas of fitness, in the areas of now. We go to the departmental coaching. For the first time, we want to see coaches for defenders, coaches for strikers, coaches for midfielders, developed to ensure that we sharpen how goals are scored. Maybe probably we shall see goals scored because players will be trained, defenders, attackers, and midfielders specifically. One notion you have, for someone to be a goalkeeper coach, you must have been a goalkeeper. But for general coaching, we've not been considering this. But under this technical master plan, we want to see a course done for coaches of strikers. Probably solve a problem of low goal scoring in our leagues and the national team. Other functions, sports science, elite facilities or top facilities that support elite football. These are all interventions. Developing elite referees, because you can't develop elite game or pro game or pro level game, but you have bad referees. Shall have development of elite referees, a project that's going to take 100 referees in a project, scouted with requirements and then developed so that we have elite game. The other third pillar that the FUFA Technical Master Plan is looking at is pro football. What do we mean here? We want to put an environment that allow talent to grow, talent to prosper in our top clubs. And what we call our top clubs or pro clubs, we are looking at the Premier League, we are looking at the Big League, we are looking at the Women's Super League. We want to put an environment that allows a player who has been scouted, developed through the various stages, academies, for schools of excellence, probably national academy. If we put this player at a proper age in a club, probably to go forward in terms of his career, not going down. So what are some of the things we are looking at in pro clubs? We want to ensure that they employ, for instance, a sporting director. FUFA will do training of sporting directors. There's a difference between a head coach in a club and a sporting director. A club can sack a head coach over performance, but maintain a sporting director who is ensuring player pathway, player development path. And then the club in turn has a player in the next generation. A sporting director who will ensure that there is a proper curriculum of how players are developed or using the FUFA curriculum. If a club puts a style of play, a philosophy, a sporting director is here to ensure that even a new coach recruited is coming within this philosophy. Of course, we look at technical protocols. There are technical protocols that are going to require clubs to have to ensure that players develop, and including inspection. If you say we want each and every coach to give us an annual periodization plan, how are you going to plan your season? Showing us that you really care about how players take rest after the season, how players train pre-season, how are they conditioned. Then when you go in the competition, how do you maintain the fitness, and then to ensure performance. These technical protocols will be required. And again, you are putting technical inspection. This has already been put in the rules. We require coaches in the clubs or technical personnel, could be a physical fitness coach, to be able to put what they learn in practice. By sending an inspector, we'll try to question you, we'll try to have a chat with you, maybe observe your training session, give you feedback, or identify that you're really doing the right thing. But all this is coming. The dual license concept. Actually, this is one of the concepts that FUFA leadership showed that, so that it was much needed to help players. We've had FUFA Juniors League youth competition. We've had national youth teams where we see potential talents. We call summon them to national team. They even play highly. They even starting to go to the senior national team. We always give an example of Travis Mutiaba. Travis Mutiaba is a talent that when we checked data in the previous season that ended in UPL, Travis played 619 minutes only. But that is an equivalent 7 games of the league, leaving other factors constant. That is coming as sub, 7 full games played at 90 minutes. Now you see he's a potential talent, but less playing time at the club. Meaning that maybe the coach, actually the data shows us that coaches had a certain number of players, like 14 players who were getting more than 800 minutes or 900 minutes and above on the pitch. Meaning that coaches are trusting a certain number of players. So the fate of youth players whom are potential has been really very bad, and they are lacking playing time. That's why a dual license concept was brought. Now we are saying send 5 players to a lower division, the second division, big league. And the team in big league will give these players playing opportunity. And I'm happy to report where we are now. This concept was picked before even the launch of technical plan. But where we are now, the top scorer in the FUFA big league, the second division, is a dual license player who came from a top division club. So these are some of short-term benefits or outcome that you are seeing with a technical master plan. It will be enhanced as you are going forward. Of course, doing an academy at grade 2 in pro clubs and also having a women team. These are some of the things we want to do in pro club. We want to support talent for boys and girls. Now, the fourth pillar of this technical master plan speaks about life after football. It is a fact, a worldwide fact, and FUFA has observed and also taken in consideration. Players have a lifespan while playing. There is a span. You cannot play football forever. You grow gray hair and still playing elite football that is sustaining you probably financially. You cannot, because football is a physical sport. You train hard, you play match. Players run 12 kilometers, 9 kilometers, 5 kilometers in the game. A game, and you're playing maybe 30 games in a season. It means the body is being too much pressure is exerted on the body. That's why players retire. They cannot push beyond, they retire. And FUFA is saying, when our stars retire, when our players retire, what are they going to do? The game needs them. The games need them in the various functions that you want to retain them. But before doing this, you need to prepare them. That's why we are putting a career guidance. Like I always give example. I was speaking to Alan Munava. Alan Munava played for Uganda Revenue Authority Football Club, and he was a left back. So he played. After playing, after he retired, he was asking, what can I do next in the game? I'm happy the club brought him in administration. Now I told Alan, yes, you've taken a path of administration. FUFA has courses we do for administrators. It is FAMACO 1. Now there is FAMACO 2, which is even enhanced. And I'm happy he's there. He's doing very well. He has finished the course. I think he's waiting for examination. After this, he's going to be a top administrator who understands all this, what we are speaking about. When we go with the technical master plan, and he say we need clubs to do this and this, he's understanding. Because he has played football, he understands it on the pitch, but now also he has studied it and is able to serve. But this is not the only area. We shall channel them to coaching. We need them in coaching. We see Tony Mawejie, they're here in coaching after playing. And so many other players who have played, but of course I'm mentioning these who have recently retired from the national team. Saddam Juma, all these players have returned to coaching. We shall support them. We shall, and FUFA already is supporting, is giving bursaries for these former players to come for coaching courses. Other areas, employment in the game. We always give example of our FUFA CEO here, Edgar Watson. He's a former captain of the national team. He's the CEO of FUFA, number 2 of the federation. So it means the opportunities. But we going to guide them so that they are prepared. Where we need to give a course, we shall give. We are bringing talent ID scouting. Of course, when I put a former player, the scout, you're a former defender, then we say, in your role, you're going to look for us the defender of the national team in the next edition or next generation. Then we give you a checklist. We give you a course. We give you tools. We deploy you. So these are some of the things. Media. We want to send them to media, analyze the game because they know the game. Employment elsewhere. Employment in administration. It can be administrators, delegates of football. We've seen those who are delegates who got the General Assembly. Paulo Sari, former goalkeeper of the Uganda Cranes, is a delegate representing players. You know, these are all avenues that we are packaging for players after they have played. That's what we call life after football. Career guidance, prepare them through training and courses, then we make them ready. Of course, encourage them to also do education because basic education is now a requirement for someone to prosper in this changing world, the modern game. But I'm very happy, players who are playing currently have gone to school. So this technical master plan will pick them. Of course, even those that did not do education, there are also other services that the technical master plan is saying they can equitably do, and we are setting to equip them and deploy them. The technical master plan has been developed internally by FUFA, but also most importantly, stakeholders were involved through a symposium. And we were at Imperial Young launching it, we had stakeholders. Now they have understood. there is one big question. It's a wonderful document, a lot of activities. What about implementation? We have assured the stakeholders that something that you have even given your input will be implemented. FUFA has done a lot of planning on paper and also put it in plan. And this is one of the strengths of the leadership of our president, historical engineer Moses Mavunga. Planning and implementation. So we assure the mass that a technical plan is going to be implemented. We shall need stakeholders. We shall need the government of the Republic of Uganda. We shall need local authorities, like when we want to do pitches. The government has land through local authorities. We shall need the government. We shall need stakeholders, clubs. We shall need academies. We shall need people in coaches, referees, instructors, those who teach coaches, those who teach referees. We shall need all of them. We shall need people in beach soccer, in futsal. We shall go to them and say, whenever you're called upon, we are just requesting you to cooperate and give the effort, because the technical master plan is for the good of the game in a nation. The media is asking about how we organize the game, especially football on the pitch. We've had so many questions about the philosophy. What is our philosophy? What is our playing style? Now this time you are saying in the technical master plan is a key pillar, is a key area, is a key area under a pillar of elite football. We are going to tackle it, we are going to start on it. But when we come to you, we say come and give your ideas as you're developing a philosophy of Ugandan football. Please come and support. Of course, we shall need finances, huge finances to implement the plan. How? Also, through strategic partnership, we may not be funding an activity, but we go to a partner, our sponsors, our partners, people in schools, they have funds also. We take there our activities, we use their funds, and then we are able to achieve, like training of coaches, referees. The schools are training, media personnel, schools are training. For us, FUFA, we are giving technical personnel. So you are achieving the target, but using strategic partnership. But also FUFA is getting funds through FIFA Forward support, a FIFA Forward fund that we are using a portion to deploy into football on the pitch. In this case, technical master plan. But also FIFA Global Development, under FIFA Global Development Department, there is a project that has come which is called FIFA Talent Development Scheme. Remember, there was an analysis done on Uganda during COVID period. FIFA produced a report. They studied the ecosystem, especially talent ecosystem, how we grow talent in Uganda. They gave us a very big report done by Arsene Wenger. After doing it, they have put some projects that have funding, but not only funding, support in terms of material support. For instance, I give you a program. If FUFA started a national academy, FIFA has a program where they give you a talent coach. For 12 months, a coach, a top coach in youth will be brought here. He will work with these talented players, boys and girls, everyday basis, so that they are improved. Our coaches will be under him or her, learning, gaining a lot of knowledge. And these are just support services under FIFA Talent Development Scheme that we want to exploit to fulfill our technical master plan. And of course, FIFA can't give you this when you don't have a plan on paper. And now, our technical master plan will be one of the key documents to support these projects that FIFA will fund. Of course, FUFA is also doing our money through our projects that will be used to fund the technical master plan. Of course, the fan out there want us, for us, you people are planning on paper, for us, we want to see visible results. Yes, one of the characteristics of planning is this is a long-term plan, 7 years. However, in segmenting of projects, there are those that are going to give short-term outcomes, short-term results, including football on the pitch. We give an example of the dual license concept, which is a child of one of the children of the technical master plan. It was taken out very quickly, implemented. Now when you hear that the top scorer of the big league is a dual license. A club where this player is playing is very happy because they have a goal scorer who would have been in a Premier League club, seated, lacking playing time. So these are some of the short-term benefits or short-term visible outcome that are going to come. The fans will enjoy. And of course, in the medium term, the technical master plan is like, people will have to give us time. It's like you're putting a seed in the soil. If you put a seed in the soil and leave it, the seed may die. You have to water before even it germinates. When it germinates, provide the shade. Also give fertilizers. These are the activities embedded in technical master plan. That once we start, we are going to be, our foot will be on the ground to ensure that we get immediate results that fans will see, but also goals being scored is one of the key indicators. Players getting playing time. Now when we run our data this season, you see a player who would have been seated is a dual license somewhere, he has playing time because you saw it as a problem. These are quick outcomes. Of course, sharpening players for our youth national teams and then also the senior national team, enhancing that player development path. Then that could be a medium-term benefit, and of course the long-term benefit. We want to see Uganda Cranes going to the World Cup, challenging or going to Africa Cup of Nations and putting top performance. How are we going to do this? Implementing the technical master plan to the dot. It will give us visible results.